This is a land of very little, a land where its people rise each day with the sun to brave the unknown, where each day comes with a new challenge and no day offers rest. This is a land of tired feet and withered souls, where no life is free from tragedy or from struggle, and the face of each person carries with it the scars of their story, where sickness goes untreated and safety is no guarantee. A place where children are forced to quickly become grown, and to many, a mother or father may be a thought unknown. But this is also a land of very much, where those who rise each day devote themselves truly to one another, where tired feet are overcome with tireless will. A land where family and faith, friendship and purpose are the focus of every day, and the love of family persists even in the most bleak of circumstances, where each person finds it within themselves to choose happiness. This is a place where each person knows who they are and what they stand for. Though they may struggle, they never complain, only push on with head high. This is a land of quiet dignity, where the pride of a native people is felt at every moment. This is Honduras. When I was 15, my father came to me and he said, "Luke, this year you're coming with me to a place called Honduras." He told me that it would be dangerous and uncomfortable, but it would ultimately be incredible, and that it would change me for the better. Honduras was everything that he said it would be. Now, 8 years later, I return to Honduras, believing that it'll be very much the same as it was that first trip. But this trip was not like that first time. This trip was different, and it would change everything. The first time I had truly felt uncertain for my safety was entering the Honduran prison. It very quickly became apparent to me that I could be robbed or beaten or killed by any of these prisoners, and nobody outside of Honduras would know, and nobody inside of Honduras would care. I was scared the whole time. Once we were within the walls of the prison, the thing that struck me immediately was the fact that there were children and babies and families of these prisoners, but no guards. The guards were simply there to keep the prisoners within the walls. And once you stepped into that prison, you were in their world, and you had to abide by their rules. There were people sitting, talking, seemingly having a good time. There was a man playing guitar and another one singing. We walked into the kitchen and they were cooking all of their own food. It was as if life was no different in there than it was on the outside, but they were just trapped in this place. And now I was trapped with them. In an unknown place surrounded by chaos, the missionaries are there doing the work that they came to Honduras to do. I'm standing in the back of the clinic that we had set up within the prison, and I see the dentists and then 35 prisoners. And they're there acting like nothing's different, as if we're in a clinic back at home in America. Watching them work in the prison was just the same as watching them work in the clinic we had set up at House of Hope. They are incredibly focused and the heroes of the trip.
That is just a matter of which tooth hurts. Sometimes they will point, other times they're not sure. I just have to look, and if I see a bad tooth, and if we agree, we will take it out. Kids are too young to understand that the pain is required to relieve the pain. Adults, they understand that.
The dental clinic itself was set up on the second floor of the House of Hope school building. Now there's 6 dental chairs, 3 dentists, and hundreds of patients. Some of these patients are traveling 3 days on foot from as far as Nicaragua. We don't have the time or the resources to do any sort of repair work, and so all the dentists do all day is pull teeth.
Bless you.
One of the most difficult things of the trip was at the end, when having to tear down the dental clinic, we had to tell several people, who some had traveled so far to receive care, that we couldn't see them, that they had to go home. And their response surprised me. In fact, it touched me. They stood up, they thanked us for coming, and they left. We don't know where many of them went. Some of them could be close by, and others may begin the 3-day journey home again. When I think back on this trip, the first thing and the last thing that always goes through my mind is the orphanages that we went to. House of Hope was one for disabled children, and Mama Tara's was a girls' home for young orphans as well. And both of these places were so difficult. For someone like me who's had everything growing up and had a childhood that had no need, had no pain, no tragedy, to step into a world where these children live in poverty and don't have parents for reasons of great tragedy, I'm gripped by it. But the thing that is most touching is when you look into their eyes. They look back into yours and you see just how pure they are. That amongst all of this tragedy and chaos, they've somehow found a way to still be children. And though they're forced to grow up so quickly, taking care of one another at all times, looking after each other, having no one to really look after them, they still find a way to look past your impurity and immediately love you. There were 2 young girls, one was 5 and the other was maybe 4, named Ruth and Lise.
Ruth Carolina Hondurei Paman.
Ruth Carolina Hondurei Paman.
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 Look, Lise.
And it's difficult for me to try and explain what this means to me personally. One of the most frustrating parts of these trips is coming back and trying to tell people what it is that you've seen, what it is that you felt. But this is still the hardest thing. While you can see it on video, while you can see pictures of it, you don't feel their skin on your skin. You don't feel their breath as they laugh and smile that you're holding them. Honduras for me has always been a place where I feel like I belong. Like I feel like I was supposed to go and do work there and help these people. But this trip was so different. This trip I felt like I was there and these people were there to help me. It's what they lack that makes room for what should fill a person. And I felt that this trip. I felt as though they were showing me that family, faith, friendship, those are the things that should fill a person. Those are the things that should fill me. And while they have so much need, they still seem to find happiness. And if in all those circumstances, in all that poverty, in all that chaos, they can achieve happiness, then I can too. I think we all can. The more I reflect on it, the more I realize that we have so much to learn from these people. And they have so little to learn from us.